I have some exciting news for you. I've been working hard to create something just for you, and it's officially live. It's a free quiz to help you determine your personal path to creating a successful digital course. That means by taking just 2 minutes to complete this quiz, you'll discover my 3 proven approaches for creating a profitable digital course, and you'll find out which one you should take based on your experience, expertise, and where you're at as an entrepreneur. Not only will you find out what path is best for you, I'll even give you a step-by-step framework for bringing your digital course to life. So head on over to amyporterfield.com/quiz right now to find out your next steps to creating a profitable business that you love. I mean it. Go take the quiz right now. Don't wait one more second. amyporterfield.com/quiz. Your future business and digital course is waiting for you to take this first step. I cannot wait to see what you create. So amyporterfield.com/quiz to get started creating your stellar and profitable digital course. All right, let's jump into today's episode. This episode is brought to you by my newest obsession, Greetable. So Greetable is a website that lets you send personalized gifts to the people in your life that support you and your business and your big, bold dreams, like your clients and your contractors, or anyone else that you just might want to send a holiday gift this season. And it's really easy. All you do is go to greetable.com, select a box print. I'm kind of loving the all things Christmas print right now. And you select from their gift items. And there are a lot of them, like the bottomless mimosa candle. Don't knock it till you check it out. Or the botanical facial steam. You know how I feel about stuff like that, right? So you choose the gift and then you write in a personal note and then you let Greetable send it on its way. Seriously, I think you're going to love all the options that they have. And most importantly, the simplicity of sending something at the end of the year to say thank you or happy holidays to the people in your business that you truly appreciate. This small gesture goes so very far. I've already sent out all of mine. So just head over to greetable.com to send your gifts. Well, hey there. Welcome back to another episode of the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Amy Porterfield, and today I have another action-packed training coming your way. Today, we're talking about how a digital course can transform your existing one-on-one coaching, consulting, or service-based business. Now, this is a hot topic because so many of my listeners, maybe including you, currently do one-on-one work. And I want to show you how a digital course can actually revolutionize your business revenue and give you more freedom. Yes, please. And allow you to reach more people and transform more lives. Because at the end of the day, that is ultimately why we're doing what we're doing, right? So I get questions all the time about how a digital course fits into a one-on-one business. Again, so if you're a coach, consultant, or have a service-based business and you are working with individual clients, this episode is for you. So many people think that it's either one or the other. They either have a one-on-one business or they offer digital courses, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm going to show you exactly how offering a digital course in addition to your one-on-one work can actually change your business. Now, we'll talk about how offering a digital course can expand your reach, boost your overall revenue, allow you to increase your one-on-one fees, give you the freedom to be more selective about who you work with. If you've ever had a crazy client, this one speaks to you, and allows you to offer tiered pricing. Also, I just want to say that if you love doing the one-on-one work, keep doing it. It wasn't for me, and I've talked about that a lot on the podcast, but if you enjoy it, I'm just going to challenge you to take it up a notch. This episode is going to help you take it to the next level because at the end of the day, you can only take on so many clients from an emotional, a physical, and a mental standpoint. So let's talk about how we can elevate your one-on-one work. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have one-on-one clients, so this doesn't apply to my business, stick with me because I have some nuggets in here that might make you excited about possibly adding a little one-on-one coaching to your next digital course offer. When you start to crunch the numbers, your ears might perk up. Or maybe you're thinking that you've had a one-on-one business for so long, you wouldn't even know where to start with a digital course. Well, my friend, this episode is for you as well. But before we jump into this episode, as always, I want to do a quick listener shout out. This one comes from Slightly Spacey Energized Bun. It's not Energized Bunny. It's Energized Bun. Okay, the title is A Treasure Trove of Info. I learned of Amy Porterfield years ago and only recently discovered her podcast. I'm going back and listening to every episode and really appreciate Amy's brilliance. Well, thank you. Her podcast is a wealth of information for creating and growing an online business or following. Amy's style is so warm, genuine, and truly caring that you can't help but fall in love with her enduring nature. Amy's authentic and honest voice helps us all learn and grow. No matter if you're just starting out or further on with your journey, Amy over-delivers on everything she does. Now, first of all, Slightly Spacey Energized Bun, thanks so very much. Your words mean more to me than I can ever express. And sometimes when I'm reading these, my other listeners, you guys might be thinking, wow, she's really full of herself. She loves to read nice things about herself. That's not why I love the listener spotlight. I know that people go out of their way to leave me these reviews. And I also know it's sometimes fun to hear your name on a podcast when you weren't expecting it. And so I love to give a shout out to the people that took the time to leave me a review in iTunes because it fully benefits me. It allows me to reach even more people with my podcast. So it's my way of saying thank you. So yeah, sometimes it's awkward to read really nice things about myself on the podcast, but I truly, at the end of the day, although I appreciate it all, I do it to say thank you to all of you for taking the time to do so. And again, I think it's kind of fun to hear your name given a shout out on a podcast. So again, Slightly Spacey Energized Bun, thank you. All right, let's get to today's episode. So let's dive into the 5 ways that a digital course will fit perfectly into your one-on-one business. Strategy number 1, a digital course will expand your reach. You can only take so many clients from a time and energy standpoint. So offering a digital course will give new clients the opportunity to work with you. Many of my clients want more reach. They want to make a bigger and more meaningful impact, and they want to be known in their industry. So if they only do the one-on-one work, that limits the number of people that they can work with and the overall impact that they can actually make. So there are a few ways that you can approach integrating your one-on-one approach with a digital course. You just have to decide which approach works best for you. So I'm going to break them all down here. The first approach offers a few options to use your digital course as an extension of your one-on-one business. The first way I want to talk about this is that you use your course to prepare your students and put them in a place to work with you directly. You could offer some of the core elements of the work you do in your one-on-ones, but not all of it. And basically, you're getting them to their first stage of transformation. So maybe you create a starter course, like just dip your toe in the water, give them the 101 of what they need. And this helps them get their initial desirable results that give them the tools they need to move forward and puts them in a better place to work with you in the future. So essentially, you're looking at this as though you're making your potential clients even better to work with. Like when they get to you, it's like an elevated experience. They're even more ready. You're not starting from ground zero with them. Can you imagine how great that would be? So this approach can significantly benefit your business. In addition, it helps to weed out those who might not be committed or ready to do the one-on-one work with you, and leaves you with clients, again, that are elevated and they're eager and willing and excited to see real transformation in their lives. Now, the second way is to offer a digital course that complements the work you do with your clients, but doesn't exactly mirror the work you do in your one-on-ones. So you might have an idea for a digital course, and this is a lot of my DCA students. So shout out to my DCA students if you're listening, which I hope you are, because my podcast episodes are fully aligned with my course. So a lot of my DCA students, they do one-on-one work, but they have this idea for a digital course that's kind of separate from that. And that's what I mean for this type of approach. So this could be like a spotlight course. Remember, a spotlight course goes deep into one very specific topic. Now, the beauty of offering a course like this is that it allows you to sell it to your clients as an upsell in addition to your one-on-one work. And you can still sell it to the people who might not want to work with you one-on-one, but they still want to learn from you. So again, it goes back to expanding your reach without trading time for dollars. Offering a course like this helps to expand your offerings. So for example, 2 of my Digital Course Academy students, Mina and Jacqueline of The Product Boss, help product entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale their physical product businesses and tackle their product-based struggles. Now, they offer a digital course, and then they also offer masterminds and group coaching programs. These offerings complement one another, and they drive clients to continue to work with Mina and Jacqueline on different platforms. Now, because of this approach, these ladies, even though their email list is just a few thousand, are preparing to cross off their goal of a 7-figure year. What? I know, it's so good. So good. Congrats, ladies. I'm just so proud of you. And shout out to both of them because they actually sent me and my team a launch box. When we were launching Digital Course Academy, this huge box came in the mail and it had so many fun things. And it was either things were labeled pre-launch or launch or post-launch. And they were things like rosé and face masks and confetti. You guys saw the confetti during Digital Course Academy? That all came from these ladies. So thanks, ladies. That was unexpected and incredibly sweet. Okay, moving on. The third way to use your course as an extension of your one-on-one business is to position it as a roadmap for your VIP clients to follow outside of your sessions. I want you to think about how you work with the client in your one-on-ones. You give your client action steps and send them on their way. You want them to succeed by implementing those action steps, right? But let's be honest, they're only getting a short amount of time with you, and you're not able to hold their hand to make sure they're taking action outside of your session. So when your clients have something to refer back to, something that helps to remind them of their action steps, you better believe they're going to get bigger and better results. So you see, having a digital course is a powerful way to not only boost your clients' results, but can also help you with retention of your existing clients. You know that those clients are going to keep coming back for more when they've received such wonderful results from your coaching services and your product. Plus, they're going to go and tell everyone they know how much success they've experienced by working with you. Boom, new clients. I love the power of word of mouth. Okay, so just a note that if you were to create a course for your existing one-on-one clients to help them actually take action when they're not in sessions with you, that will limit the number of people who you're selling that digital course to. So you need to crunch the numbers to make sure it would make sense to you. But I just want to give you so many different ideas right now, and you work out the best one for your type of business model. So with that, the final approach that you can take is to offer one-on-one coaching as an upsell to your digital course. So this allows you to reach individuals who might only be able to afford your digital course, as well as people who are looking for more personalized coaching and can afford it. My student, Lisa Hayam of Well Necessities, does a great job of integrating one-on-one coaching into her digital course offer. So Lisa's a registered dietitian, and she uses an approach to empower both clients and readers to become introspective and mindful regarding their food and lifestyle choices, without ever letting food monopolize their thoughts. So when she started her business, she only wanted to work with clients one-on-one, and she did this for about 3 to 4 years. She eventually decided to take Digital Course Academy because I think she was a little burned out with working with so many clients, and that was the only thing she was doing. But she still found value in offering one-on-one sessions. She just didn't want to do it as much. So now she offers her digital course, which is called Fork the Noise. You gotta love the name, right? Fork the Noise. And she offers 3 different price points with her digital course. And by the way, we're going to talk more about this in my strategy number 5, which is all about tiered pricing. So we're going to actually come back to this approach. So I'm just kind of hinting at it here and giving you an example. So Lisa offers a classic price point, which is $189, a VIP price point for $249, and a VIP plus price point for $349. She charges more for her VIP plus members because they get 4 45-minute one-on-one virtual coaching calls with Lisa. How awesome is that? So she's really adding value with that VIP plus option, but not everybody has to take her up on it. And actually, she probably doesn't let everybody take her up on it. I'm pretty sure she caps it to make sure she's not doing hundreds and hundreds of these calls. So there are various ways that you can approach your digital course and your one-on-one sessions, and you just have to decide what is best for you, your business, your goals, and your lifestyle. I also want to mention that you might be thinking that you want your course to replace your one-on-one work, and that's totally okay too. So for example, if you're like me and you don't want to do the one-on-one work anymore, maybe you're feeling burned out, you struggle with setting boundaries, so you feel like you're taking on too much. That was my problem, and that's a podcast for another time. Or maybe you feel like your personality would align better with offering a digital course versus the coaching. And then if that is the case, then this is a great way to still share your knowledge with others while creating a business that works best for you. Like digital courses is your path. So if you're nodding your head, yes, that's me. I don't want to do any more one-on-one coaching. Then your course is a signature program where you teach your full method or your process for getting people results in a course to get your students the same results that they would have gotten with one-on-one coaching and consulting from you. So let me give you an example. One of my students, Mary Bicknell, is a psychotherapist, and for years she worked strictly with one-on-one clients. She saw an opportunity to create a virtual offering, and that lit her up with excitement. And after going through my program, she was able to take her one-on-one practice completely online and offer a digital course. So now she has a list over 5,000 people on her email list, a team that is completely virtual, and she's on track to make over $250,000 this year. I mean, how great is that? Okay, so to recap, strategy number 1 is to offer a digital course to help you expand your reach and make a bigger impact beyond what you're doing with your one-on-one work. Let's move on to strategy number 2, which is a digital course will increase your overall revenue. Now, you're probably like, duh, Amy, you just showed us that it could increase our revenue. But stay with me here because I actually want to get more strategic with you. No matter how you add a course to your business, obviously it's going to boost your revenue. You're adding another way to work with you, and this could eventually become a passive income stream for you, which allows you to have more flexibility and freedom. So when I talk about adding more revenue, the first way you do it is more active. You've got this digital course, you've got the one-on-one, you're likely doing live launches, but then you can move to evergreen. Now, I know making money while you sleep sounds like a scammy marketing saying, but you often hear it with evergreen. Well, I used to think that sounded kind of scammy too, until it happened to me. And then I realized, oh, this is actually something that is actually doable. And so I'm the real deal of an example of this, and so many other people are. So this idea of making revenue while you sleep, of making passive income, is really important for us to talk about. And as you know, this is something you cannot do if you're running a one-on-one coaching, consulting, or service-based business. So you're trading time for dollars. There's nothing evergreen about that. Can I get an amen? So in my Digital Course Academy program, we teach our students how to move their course into evergreen, meaning you could sell it every single day automatically with an automated webinar. Now, I do encourage my students and you, if you're a student of mine or not, to do a few live launches. So live webinars, live launches, you open the cart at a certain date, you close the cart at a certain date, and that's the only time people can get into your program. And I encourage all my students to do it that way in the beginning because it's a way to make sure that your course is going to sell and that you understand your audience and that you can make tweaks along the way to increase that conversion as high as possible. And then once you've really dialed in that live launch, it's a perfect transition into an evergreen funnel. Because remember, all my DCA students know this, you become a better marketer, you're more nimble, you're able to pivot when you know how to do live launches. But there will come a time when you want to put a program that you've live launched a few times on evergreen. And that's what we're talking about here. So just to be clear, I don't teach passive income right away. However, when you're ready to move into an evergreen funnel, which you can do pretty quickly, that's when you can experience this freedom in your business if and when you need it. So speaking of that, offering a digital course is especially helpful to have in place when you have to step away from your business unexpectedly. So in fact, just the other morning, I got a text message from my girlfriend who's in the online space as well. And she said, so we've had a death in our family, totally unexpected. I got to get on a plane, and she needed to be with a relative. It was tragic and it was horrible. But for a moment, I thought, wow, thank God that she has a business she can step away from that doesn't require her to be on calls and in meetings and working one-on-one with people every day in order to generate revenue. Because she wasn't sure how long she needed to be away, but the business would still survive. And although the family member is way more important than her generating revenue that week, imagine how much peace she felt getting on a plane, flying away, knowing I don't have to worry about any of that. My business is going to be fine. I'm going to just really focus on this family member that needs me right now. So just remember, when you only do the one-on-one work, you're exposed in ways that can create a lot of angst if something does happen. And let's be honest, something's always going to happen. One way or another, we're human. It's going to happen. So let's do something about it now. And one more thing, I know that coaching, consulting, service-based business, if you're only doing that, it can be physically and emotionally exhausting at times, no matter how much you love it. You could love working with your clients and it's still exhausting, but the day you're working with the client you cannot stand, holy cow, it just wreaks havoc on your health, both emotionally and physically. So I really love adding a digital course to the mix. So you have this freedom that means if you need to step away to recharge, you're not losing a bunch of money. This will benefit you, your business, your customers across the board. You'll have more energy. You'll be more excited about the work and insight if you have some breathing space from working with clients all the time. Now, another way a digital course can seriously benefit your business is that it will allow you to set bigger income goals. In short, it will open up a door for you to make more money. Hallelujah. So you're not just trading time for dollars anymore. Maybe you're doing that and you're adding a digital course. So that could literally double, triple, quadruple your business because people are paying for your course and not just your time. Going back to Lisa, in just one launch of her Fork the Noise digital course, she made $20,000. So that's $20,000 from just one launch, and that she didn't have to worry about trading that time for money. Good stuff, right? I remember the first time, going back to that evergreen conversation, I remember the first time that I turned one of my programs into evergreen, that I had been launching it for at least a year. And I was so excited to wake up the next morning to see what would happen because I had turned it on evergreen about 24 hours before that. And I wanted to really see if you could make money while you sleep. I was living in this little condo in Carlsbad, and I remember jumping out of bed and running over to my tiny little office in that condo, powering up the computer and just crossing my fingers that just one sell. I just wanted one sell while I was sleeping. And I looked at the ledger and I had 2. So I was so excited. So I went to bed at 10 p.m., woke up at 6 a.m. I had 2 sales. Cha-ching. It worked. And I knew I could only go up from there. So it was this huge sense of relief. Like I don't always have to have my hands in the work in order to generate revenue. Like I am such a proponent of the power of live launching and the power of evergreen. I really do believe I think we need both. And 10 years into my business, I still do both. List Builder Society runs on evergreen. I make money every day. And Digital Course Academy, now I'm kind of scared. This is the first time we've ever done this. We're only launching it once a year. Crazy town, right? So I'm doing both. And you guys know I only teach what I know. I only teach what works, or I tell you what doesn't work so you don't make the same mistake. So I wanted to share that with you. And with that, I also believe in a simple business. So you don't need to have a lot of moving pieces. I know there are a lot of multi-passionate entrepreneurs out there, but sometimes I feel like using that term multi-passionate entrepreneur, and I'm going to get some flack for this, so just know it comes from a good place. Sometimes, not always, I think it's an excuse to be a little bit scattered and to say, well, I like to have my hands in a lot of different things. And what that does is it means you're never really good at one thing. And so I don't like a lot of spinning plates in my business. I like just a few core things. And as you guys know, for so long, I just had digital courses. Now I've got this brand new membership site that's launching. And so that's going to add one more spinning plate, but digital courses and a membership that's doable. But I've got to be careful that I don't add too much because at the end of the day, I don't like that feeling of being pulled in so many different directions. Now, if you do love the one-on-one work, having your one-on-one premium or VIP clients, those who pay you well to work with you and you love working with them, and having a digital course that you launch live a few times and then move to evergreen is really the best business model I could think of for you. I love the idea of doing both if you truly enjoy the one-on-one work. All right, so let's move on to strategy number 3. A digital course will allow you to increase your one-on-one fees. Now, I've already touched on this, but I wanted to really make sure I hit it home and give it its own strategy, because when you have a digital course, no matter which approach you choose from strategy number 1, I gave you all those different approaches. Now you have a reason to reevaluate how you do the one-on-one work. And let's be honest, I think all of us would agree that we'd rather work with 5 clients that pay us really well versus 20 clients that pay us kind of so-so. And I've touched on this as well, but we've all had clients that we really wish we could fire. In fact, I did fire some of my one-on-one clients. That's how much I hated working with them. And I think this is normal as well. We don't talk about it a lot because we don't want to be disrespectful of those that we serve. I'm so far removed from it and I don't name any names, so I feel comfortable doing so. But yeah, I had clients that I couldn't wait to get rid of. And I think all coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses get to that place until they get really strategic and they say, okay, first of all, I'm going to vet this better. Second of all, I'm going to charge more, which weeds out a lot of people. And third, I'm only going to take a few clients. Now, you could do that without a digital course, but we've already talked about how you're leaving yourself exposed if your only main revenue is the fact that you show up in an office and trade time for dollars. That's risky, right? So having this digital course gives you a little breathing space where you're like, all right, let's reevaluate what I'm charging for my one-on-one, who I'm selecting to work with, because I want to be a hot commodity that a lot of people like to work with, but only few get selected to work with me. And I don't have to worry about in the meantime figuring it out. And it might take you a while to change your prices and kind of deal with weeding out some of the clients and finding the new ones that will pay the premium. But in the meantime, if you have a digital course that you're launching a few times live a year or eventually turning on evergreen, that revenue, here's something I've never really talked about. That revenue with a digital course allows you to kind of experiment with other things. You know how during the digital course launch, I would say, when you create a digital course, it allows you to only work on the things that light you up and literally say no to the things that drain you. So having a digital course and making money that way gives you this breathing room to reevaluate how you want to do the one-on-one work. And if you miss the mark in the beginning, if you fumble a little with reevaluating, it's okay because you already have money coming in a different way. That creates confidence and ease and less anxiety. So to recap number 3, it's just a short one because we've already gone over it in the other strategies, but a digital course will allow you to increase your one-on-one fees. And I highly recommend that you do so. All right, moving on to strategy number 4, a digital course will allow you to be more selective around who you take on as your one-on-one clients. I'm kind of cracking up because I'm jumping to the strategy before I get to it. I'm well aware, okay? But I like to dig deep into these. So we've already talked about being more selective. I literally just talked about it for minutes in strategy number 3, but let's break this down. Strategy number 4 is all about allowing you to take fewer clients and serve them at a higher level. And this is the part I really wanted to hit home because you're not stretched too thin. You're not pulled in a million directions and you're not trying to balance a ton of clients. I think where I went wrong in my one-on-one work is that I said yes to everything. I was terrible with boundaries. And I remember a woman, she's actually pretty prominent in her space, so I hope she doesn't remember me. But I remember her kind of giving me a little smackdown. I was doing some one-on-one social media work for her. And this was so many years ago, but she said, you know, Amy, you shouldn't have taken me on as a client if you didn't have the time for me. And it like hit me in the gut. I felt terrible and I was embarrassed. And I just like wanted her to go away because I was feeling so inadequate. But she was right. I took her on as a client. I didn't meet my deadlines. I couldn't deliver on the promises as fast as I wanted to because I had too many other clients. I think this is something that's really common. So as you rework your prices, that's when you become more selective. They go hand in hand. I think that you can really do your best work when you make a commitment to be more selective. Now, more selective to me means that they fill out some information. I think this would be so valuable. If you've never done it, take 20 minutes and brainstorm, what does your perfect one-on-one client look like? Like, who is this avatar? Now, you've probably done some avatar work, but like, how do you work together? How do they take action? What do their wins look like? Like, get so clear if you haven't done so already about who your perfect one-on-one client looks like or who that person is. And then from there, you're raising your price and you're putting it out in the universe that you're going to attract 2 or 3 people just like this person. And the reason I also wanted to separate this one, be more selective as the strategy, is that maybe you want to rework your packages as well. So if you have one-on-one coaching packages, let's kind of spend a day. It would be so great if you could just spend a day to rework the packages, rework how you want to work with clients and evaluate all of that. That reminds me, I don't know what episode it is, and this is not normally my style, but I did this really great, if I don't say so myself, episode about going for a total immersion weekend retreat. So it's episode 222. It was really, really popular. So episode 222, it was how Chloe and I go on these total immersion weekends. We're actually doing this in November again. We go to the Parker in Palm Springs because we love that place. And we just go for total immersion. And it's good to just do it with 1 or 2 people on your team, or you do it alone. And you dial in like one area you really want to work on. And for us, it's our promo calendar and getting really clear about how we're going to navigate through some special things that we want to do in the near future. But anyway, check out that episode. You could use a total immersion weekend to rework your business model and how you use courses and what you charge and the packages for coaching. Like it could be so lucrative for you if you took the time to dial this in. Okay, so back to doing better work by taking fewer clients. I know that you've been in those situations where you're rushing to put together a proposal or a plan for a client, and you're doing this, you're doing that, and you feel like you're pulled in a million directions. And at the end of the day, you're so exhausted that you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like today was a whirlwind. Like it went by so fast. I was on so many calls, I can't even breathe. And I think that's very normal for a lot of service-based business or one-on-one coaching consulting kind of businesses. So one of my brand new students, Jamie Trawl, I hope I'm saying your last name right, Jamie, but she works with entrepreneurial women to help them build their financial foundation. So she thought that leveraging her corporate job to do one-on-one consulting work would give her more freedom in her business. And so I got to talk to her. Actually, she was one of my calls that I did on an episode about interviewing your ICA, how to do course calls. I interviewed Jamie. So if you listen to my podcast religiously, that was one of the really fun episodes because I had never talked to Jamie before. At the time, she wasn't a student. She's now a student at Digital Course Academy. So I was interviewing her because she's the kind of person I would want in Digital Course Academy. So when I was talking to her, she said to me, Amy, I was always in meetings, always on the phone. So here I am working at my home office with 2 little toddlers at home, and I'm on the phone yet again with another client in a meeting, and my toddler comes up and says to me, Mommy, you're always on the phone. And she thought, this is not why I left my corporate job, to just bring the phone calls home, to bring the work home and just do it at home. She's like, I felt like I was still at corporate. So she wanted more freedom. And that's why she made the decision to get into Digital Course Academy and start building her digital course. Now, she may continue to take one-on-one clients, but also adding a digital course will get her out of those meetings, those calls, those coaching sessions that she'd been doing all day long. So here's what I'm saying. If you have fewer clients and you're only working with clients that you love to work with, you're going to have more freedom and more breathing space for the things that are important to you. So strategy number 4, recap. A digital course will allow you to be more selective around who you take on as your one-on-one clients. And that leads me to the home stretch. Strategy number 4, a digital course allows you to offer tiered pricing. So offering various price points can do a couple of things. One, it opens up an opportunity for people with different financial means to work with you. Many times, this will lead to higher revenue. And 2, it makes those high price points, such as VIP Plus option like Lisa did in her program, it makes them a hot commodity. So let me give you an example of a tiered pricing model that includes a digital course and one-on-one coaching sessions. So let's say you offer a signature course as your core offer. So again, just to remind everyone, a signature course is your complete, comprehensive system that you know how to teach in order to get people results. It's specific and detailed and includes the entire framework from start to finish, and it leads to a total transformation for your students. And by the way, I talk more about signature courses in episode 240. So after this one, if you want to go listen to 240, I get into different types of digital courses you can create. So that's your first and potentially lowest priced point option, your signature course with no more bells and whistles. And it's amazing because it gives them the tools they need to get to total transformation. So the digital course can stand alone and get people results. Now, your next price point is your signature course with, let's say, some virtual coaching sessions or email access to you or Slack access to you directly as well. So the point is they get more access to you in tier 2. So from your digital course, you might want to raise that price by, let's say, $500 or $1,000 more to get virtual group coaching for a certain amount of time, or email access to you, or Slack access to you, or Voxer access to you, whatever it might be. You can determine the price, but you are raising it. And then the final tier is the highest price point, and that's where you offer your one-on-one sessions. But the important lesson here is that you only offer it to a select few, let's say 10 people, and it's first come, first serve. Or if you want to be more selective to make sure you're working with people you actually want to work with, they can apply for this extra coaching sessions with you alone. So they're getting your course and they're getting the one-on-one coaching. And you could also say with this, if this is your VIP level, the highest level, you could say you get the course, you get the Slack access to me, and you get one-on-one coaching. So they usually, when you're building your tiers, let's say you have 3 tiers, anybody in tier 3 gets both what's offered in tier 1 and 2. Or if you're in tier 2, you get offered what's in tier 1 plus extra with tier 2. Get what I mean? It's a stacking effect typically. So that way there's just no confusion around it. But those that are getting your one-on-one coaching, be selective, only take a few. Your time is valuable. So this is where you're charging the most. Maybe it's $2,000 extra, whatever makes the most sense for you. So do you see how you can create tiered pricing with a course and your coaching? You can totally flip this approach as well. You start with the one-on-one coaching or consulting, and then the tiers actually include possibly a digital course. I don't think it's as easy that way. I think the easier model is the first one I laid out for you, but you can play around with this as well. The entire point of this mini training today is to give you so many ideas, and then you go to the drawing board and you start tweaking them to make them your own. I've noticed over the last year, as I've put a very intentional focus on collecting success stories from my students, and not just collecting the stories so I could have testimonials, but learning about how people are getting success in my programs, I've been pleasantly surprised at how many people make my programs their own. So someone will say, yeah, I went through DCA, but I didn't do webinars. I did Facebook Lives. Or yeah, I didn't pre-record my program like you teach. I actually did it live, but I used all your elements in this module to make that happen. And I love when people are creative and do it their way, but just use my program as their foundation or as their initial model. So with that, take that kind of mindset with this episode, play around with all of this, and then put together your offerings. So there you have it. I was excited to share this mini training with you because I just knew it was going to add value to so many people's businesses. I can't tell you how many times I get questions about how a digital course fits into a one-on-one coaching business. And now you can see how it does. And just from a marketing perspective, imagine how great this episode will be for me when I get that question again and again and again, whether it be on a Facebook Live in my private Facebook groups, or maybe it's at a live event somebody asks me, or maybe it's on a Facebook Live on my page. And I could say, oh, go check out episode 294. I cover it in a mini training. And I can continue to drive traffic to this episode a year, 2 years down the road. So as you're creating your weekly content, think about that. Always think about the questions you get asked all the time. We spent a few hours on this training. What you just got right there, Kylie and me and Kylie, just spent a lot of hours hashing that out and figuring out the right flow and the right ideas and getting the case studies for you so that this could be a standalone mini training that I refer people back to again and again. I don't spend hours and hours on all my podcast episodes, but I definitely do them on a big handful of those episodes that I know I'm going to keep coming back to again and again. Just something to think about as you create your content. So to wrap up, I want it really to sink in. Offering a digital course alongside your one-on-one coaching will help you to expand your reach and make a bigger impact. Adding a digital course will also help you boost your overall revenue, increase your one-on-one fees, and offer more high-quality value because you'll have breathing room, gives you the freedom to be more selective about who you work with, no more clients that drive you crazy, and gives you the option to offer tiered pricing in your business. There's your recap. Now, be sure to join me next week because I am interviewing New York Times bestselling author of Atomic Habits, James Clear. And we're talking about, habits. But we're not just talking about habits in the way that everyone else does. James has a very unique approach to how to tackle habits 1% at a time for massive transformation in your life, in your business. He's going to show you exactly how you can apply what he calls the 4 levels of behavioral change to your business to create better habits, more revenue, and more joy in your business in the coming new year. So let's do this. I can't wait for you to hear all the details. And the last thing that I always say, but you might not have done it just yet, have you subscribed to my podcast? I just mentioned in a former podcast or previous podcast that Kylie and Sam on my team are pushing me to do more bonus episodes, and they are really good episodes, and they're coming up with such great ideas that I can't resist not doing them. And so with that, there's going to be a lot of episodes that we don't email about. The only way you're going to hear about them is if you subscribe to the podcast. So on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to this podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you love this training as much as we love creating it for you. I'll see you here, same time, same place next week. Bye for now.